Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Luce and this is
Les.
Also known as Lester. We are inside the Q Tribe.
And today we're going to talk about 21 tips on how to stay married in 2020.
Right. We live in a world where right now a lot of people don't appreciate marriage. They don't value marriage. And a lot of these tips probably are things that people have said or you have heard from a lot of other people, but sometimes you need a reminder. And that's what we're here today to do today. So a little backstory. We've been married now 7 years, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so far so good. You know, no marriage is perfect. We can't sit here and say that our marriage is perfect because it's not.
Mm-hmm.
There's days where I'm sure he wants to kill me and vice versa.
Absolutely.
Thanks, honey. So we're going to go ahead and jump in. It was not easy putting these in order.
It was very difficult finding an order to put these in because we wanted to focus on number one to be the most important. That's why we're counting down from 21 to 1. Number 21, give your spouse space when needed. There's been plenty of times where I feel overwhelmed, whether it be about work or about the kids at home, and sometimes I need my space. Personally, for me, my space would be to go to the basement, go to my little studio, and try to make a beat or something, just to unwind a little bit, because I feel like that's very important in a marriage, especially nowadays.
I'm the complete opposite of him when it comes to space. I like to be quiet. So if I'm upset or something happened and I need my space, he knows that it's just leave her alone. When she's ready to talk or whatever, she'll come around. And, you know, everybody's different and that's okay. You don't all have to be the same. You don't all have to, feel the same way. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to deal with it how you see fit. But as husband and wife, it's very important for you to learn how to give your partner space when it's necessary. So number 20 is going to be support. So support in a marriage or in any relationship really is very important. If your spouse tells you that they have an aspiration to do something, whether you think it's dumb or not, you should be their support system. You know, if he told me he wanted to, I don't know, build a house with Legos, I would be like, you go build that house with Legos and you're going to build a big one. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people don't support each other. It's like, oh, I want to own a business. And then your spouse is like, that's stupid. We don't have money. We can't do that. Or, it shouldn't be that way. You should be there to support your spouse and help them reach whatever goals they want to achieve in life.
And I learned that because she's that way. I'm more like, man, this can't happen. I'm the more negative one when it comes to, when it comes to exploring different opportunities and stuff. I'm more secluded. I like comfort. I like to know what I'm getting into. I like to know what I'm doing, and I like to stay there because it works. But when I got married to her, she was the complete, again, opposite. With her being the complete opposite, I've learned to let go within these 7 years on a lot of things that were really causing a big friction in the beginning of our marriage, because she would want to do things and I would be like, no. And she would want to do this or that or think about this and plan about that, and me was always, no, that doesn't make sense. And it wasn't that I was negative, it's just that I was brought up that way. I was raised very different than she was, in a different atmosphere than she was. Number 19. This is a special one for me. Number 19 is compliments. Okay? Make sure you compliment your spouse. I always tell her, you look beautiful. I love you. And all of these things. It's not that I'm forcing it. I really do mean it. You know, sometimes she's just sitting at the house. And I look at her smile and I'm like, babe, I love your smile. You're beautiful. These are things that are very important. In some cases, she does it, but most of the time she does not. And I don't know about you other guys out there, but we would like to get some compliments sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes you would like to hear, hey, you look really good today, babe. You look handsome. You know, to me, compliments are a very important thing, especially now, because if you don't compliment somebody, the way social media is right now, if you don't compliment somebody and you post up a selfie and there's someone that's following you, they show interest, that could take your mind to another place.
So that's why I said that I would let him talk about it. But I feel like women and men are different in the sense that, you know, us women, we change our hair, we change the color of our hair, we change the color of our makeup, and, you know, we wear mascara, and, you know, our outfits match our purse. And I feel like with guys it's not fun. You know what I mean? Like, obviously they dress up and, you know, he'll change his hair once in a while, or the way he does his beard and stuff like that. And that's when I'll be like, oh, I like your hair, or I like the outfit you're wearing, or whatever. But it's definitely not as much as how he does it. It's pretty much daily. And I can be looking a hot mess with my hair in a crazy messy bun, and he'll tell me exactly that. He'll be like, I love your smile, because I have dimples. So it's something he compliments very often. Number 18 is gender roles. Times are a lot different now than they were before. A lot of people still live in this time where it's like, oh, well, you're the man of the house, or you're the woman of the house. You know, we both work, so we both share everything. The only thing I don't let him do is cook.
Which is a good idea.
Besides that, you know, he's never been like, oh, well, you're the woman, go wash the dishes, or go clean my clothes, or he's never done that to me. And I feel like that's something for our relationship. It's something that I value, because I wouldn't like it as a woman that works full time. I wouldn't appreciate it for me to come home from work. Well, I work from home. So, but for me to clock out of work and him be like, oh, go do this or go do that. You know what I mean? It's like, why can't you do it? I work just as much as you do. You know, but some people don't agree with that. That's just how we choose to live our lives. If your spouse isn't how you want them to be, your marriage is always going to be, you're always going to bump heads.
And you're always going to be confrontational. It's not a problem for me. Some guys have too much pride for that to be flowing in their houses, and I don't. I don't mind. I feel like if I work in an area, like I was saying earlier, if something's comfortable for me and it works, why step out and do something different that I'm not sure will work? So if this is working, as long as it works, she's happy, I'm happy, the kids are happy, everything is good.
Our next tip is going to be understanding finances.
Number 17. Understanding finances.
Finances are probably one of the number one reasons people get divorced. A lot of people are my money, her money, or his money, my money. We don't work that way.
Nope.
You know, my money is his money. And he's okay with, I'm the one that budgets in the house. I'm good at it. You know, he's more of a spender. I'm more of a saver.
That's right.
You know, so we, like we said in the beginning, we're very opposite. And that's okay, because we've learned to appreciate each other and our differences, and we've learned how to come around. And, you know, he's okay with me handling the money and handling the finances. We have budget meetings and we talk about, you know, my plans, how I want to structure everything. So finances are a big deal. You know, some people, they don't make enough money, so they struggle, and then that struggle turns into arguments, and it's not fun. It's not fun to argue with your spouse over money.
Yeah, so guys, if your wife seems to be the one that has a better grip on finances, let her have it, bro. Let her have it, because it works. It works. Whoever is best at it, do it. That's true. The next step is Number 16, stop trying to control everything. Go ahead, babe.
What are you trying to say?
Just go. You can start.
Stop trying to control everything. This goes for men and women. You know, some people like to have control over everything. They want to say how the bills are paid. They want to say what's cooked that day. They want to say what's done in the house, what's not done in the house. You know, you have to learn to let control of certain areas of your life to make your life easier. Think of you being one person and trying to do every single job in your household. You're eventually gonna go crazy.
That's right. So, our recommendation to keep things alive in 2020 as a married couple is don't try to have control of everything. Share responsibilities, share worries, and share all of these things with your spouse. That's what they're there for. They're there to be your other half. Number 15.
Don't compare yourself to others, and also don't take each other for granted.
I did that in the beginning of, I wasn't going to say this, but in the beginning of our marriage, I compared her to all of my exes, actually, and I said something stupid. And she was really hurt by it. But I'm glad that she's a forgiving person, and she was able to forgive me. And after that, you know, things started getting better. This was very in the beginning. I think we were 4 months married.
Probably.
We were like about about 6 months. About 6 months married, and you know, it's just because you get at that stage in the beginning where you're still trying to know this person. You might have dated for a long time before that, but you still don't know how it is to live with this person. So once you start, when you're at that stage, if you're at that stage right now where you're trying to learn and study the person you're married to.
Another thing is, you might see how someone portrays their relationship or their spouse, but you don't know what happens behind closed doors. I can sit here and speak so highly of my husband, you know, and you don't know the flaws that he has, you know, or I can sit here and say, oh, my husband cleans and my husband cooks and my husband does everything in my house. But behind closed doors, your husband talks down to you. Your husband, you know, manipulates you, or whatever the case may be. You know, not every relationship is perfect. Not every person is perfect. We all have our flaws. So don't compare your spouse to someone else's spouse, and don't take your spouse for granted, because there's things that my husband does for me that no other man has done for me. You know, so, and that's something that I probably don't say it all the time, but when I do remember, I tell him thank you.
Number 14, separation.
A lot of people are quick to call it quits. They're quick to separate. You know, oh, you're getting on my nerves, so I'm going to go to my mom's house for the weekend, or I can't stand you anymore. Let's take a break.
It's a bad idea. I would always think that in my mind in the beginning, like, oh, man, I'm gonna just go back to my mom's for a few days. You gotta be willing to fight for what you love. If you love the person, then separation really is not the answer. It's actually giving space and then figuring out in your mind, what can you do to fix what just happened, right?
Some people use separation as an excuse to cheat. So, you know, sometimes separation isn't always the best thing. Number 13 is parenting as one.
Parenting as one. It's a difficult thing for me because I'm more controlling and demanding with the kids, and she's more, you gotta let them be, and I don't get it sometimes. I'm starting to get it, but it's been rough for me to understand that way. I wasn't raised the way I am, which is why I don't get why I am the way I am. My parents were great with me, and they're still great with me, but I don't get why I'm more strict, especially on my two boys, than I am with my daughter. and it's just ridiculous. So parenting as one is very important. Please do it together.
Yeah, as you can probably hear, our kids are upstairs playing PS4, so they're a little loud. But we are very different in parenting, but we talk about it. You know, we talk about how we discipline our kids, how we structure their lives and everything like that. Our kids do chores. Our kids have been doing chores since probably they were about 7 or 8.
Yep.
You know, the older they get, the more they do. Our oldest, both our two oldest are 13 and 11, so they wash their own clothes, they put their own clothes away, they clean their rooms, the oldest washes dishes, and the middle one is in charge of the bathroom. So, it's some parents disagree on little things like that, and we're trying to create men. We're not trying to have these kids, these boys, grow up and think that their wife is going to do everything for them, because that's something that I tell them all the time. Ain't no woman going to want a man that's lazy, don't know how to do nothing in their house, can't even wash clothes and put it away themselves. So parenting, it's hard to parent as one, but it is doable.
Yes.
Our next tip is going to be tip number 12. And this is making decisions together and keeping everybody else out.
Oh. Whew, preach it.
As a marriage, when you say I do, you're a new family. The Bible says that the man is to leave his mom. You leave your family. You're going to leave everything behind. You're going to join your wife. You leave your family and you join your wife. You join your husband. So everybody else's opinions don't matter anymore. Everything that matters is what you and your husband decide, or you and your wife decide. And some people, they still 10, 12 years married, and they still go to their mom or their best friend or whoever it is to ask for advice. You can't do that all the time. I understand there's moments where you want to vent, but some people don't know how to give advice. I'm sorry. They don't give the correct advice. And that's where it creates tension. So you might go to someone and ask for their advice, and then, let's say you got into an argument. You go to that person, you tell them, oh, me and my husband were fighting about this. Can you believe that? Blah, blah, blah. He had the audacity. Now your best friend don't like your husband.
That's right.
Because you told him that. You told her that, or whatever the case may be. And then that creates animosity. Y'all have a party and your husband comes and he's like, hey, how you doing? And your best friend is like, I'm all right. Or treating him some type of way because of what you told her. And arguments happen. If I was to tell everybody every single little argument that me and Les have had in 7 years, you know what I'm saying? And there are things that I have my character. I have my moments. And, it's not always him, just like it's not always me. It takes two to argue.
That's right. You keep people out. Don't let people in. I don't care how close your best friend is to you. Your best friend is not living in your marriage, doesn't live in your house, does not know what goes on. As soon as you let those people in, they feel entitled to fixing your problem because they love you and they mean well by it, but it's just not their place. It's not their place. Don't do it. Keep friends and even family out of your marriage. Next will be number 11. Put your phones down. This is my biggest problem. I can't put my phone down to save my life. She asked me just yesterday, why don't you put your phone down? I put it down. About 10 minutes later, I picked it back up. And it's not that I'm doing anything. I'm just scrolling through my news feed. But it can become an issue.
Yeah. I feel like now with technology being the way it is, it's very distracting. We are going through a very hard time in the United States right now with the whole corona and everything like that. So, we cut off our cable and we're trying to find other things to do. And he's like, man, this is boring. And I'm like, we have Hulu, we have Amazon Prime, we have Disney Plus, we have things that we can watch. You know, it's not like we didn't have anything that we could watch. But I'm like, let's just talk. You know, I was working. Like I said, I work from home. So I'm just sitting on the computer. I'm working, scrolling through my work or whatever. And he starts laughing. He's like, so what do you want to talk about? You know, it's like that's the world that we live in. You can't even think of things to talk to your spouse about anymore because you're so entertained by your phone, you know. Or he'll start talking to me, or I'll start talking to him, and then it's like gets quiet, and then it's like, oh, hold on, so and so messaged me, or hold on, look at this video. You know what I mean? It's very distracting, very distracting.
So please just put your phones down. I know I'm not one to talk about it because I struggle with it, but really, put your phones down, put them away, man. You can't connect with people unless you connect with them through there. It's not really more let's go meet for coffee or let's go out and do this. You talk to people and message people through your phone, so it becomes a part of you. To salvage your marriage in 2020, we recommend that you try putting your phones down.
So we're going to end this video here. We're going to do a part 2 with our 10 to number 1 tips on how to stay married in 2020. So don't forget to like.
Don't forget to subscribe.
So you can continue in this journey inside the Q Tribe.
Thank you very much.